So there's this piece of land nearby where I grew up, and I go there actually still from time to time with my kids. It isn't developed, there's nothing there. It's got a bunch of trees, and it starts in this little swampy, boggy entrance. Then you go up this path with a small incline, and you're on top of a hill that overlooks a lake. Honestly, it's really pretty. There's an infestation of mosquitoes, but otherwise it's great, right? And we've gone there, Megan and I have gone there often with our kids. We're normally looking for something to do, but we don't want to actually go and do something, right? We want to kill time, explore, and sometimes go and wander together. And so we wander off to this little piece of land. Sometimes we play games in the area. Sometimes we're explorers going out on adventures where we have to watch out for the bad guys. Sometimes we just go and try to catch frogs. But either way, when we go to this little chunk of land, we start without ever fully knowing what we're really getting into. Now, cards on the table, that isn't the easiest thing for me. I like lists. I tend to be a little driven. I like to get things done. A good day for me is when I have removed the requisite number of items from my to-do list and I can go home happy. Which is to say that something or some part of me measures my goodness by success, or at least productivity. And so it's a joyful struggle to go somewhere where I'm never sure what exactly it is I'm supposed to do and things are unexpected. And if there's a theme that we see in what Jesus is doing throughout the scriptures, it's really that idea. Rarely is Jesus is running down the religious expectations and checking off his list that I like to do. He does them, I'm sure. That's the point of being perfect and sinless after all. He does all the things, but rarely do those things feel like he's driven by an agenda. Rather, he seems to delight in engaging the unexpected and the unexpected ones. Look at the story of the scriptures that we find in Nicodemus, right? Where he comes to Jesus at night. And Nick knows, he's part of the religious elite. He knows what's going down and he has all these questions. And Jesus seems to delight in these unexpected moments, right? And it's in that response that we get some of the strongest declarations of God's love that we have in the scriptures. Not to someone who's part of his troop and tribe and his ragtag bunch, but it's things that we see in like John 3:16, where we're told of God's love for the world and love that leads to Jesus' coming. And then he continues in verse 17 when he says he comes not to condemn a broken world, but to save it. Jesus doesn't announce this in a sermon or a synagogue or a publicly declared kind of way. It comes in this unexpected sideline moment because Jesus used all of our moments for his glory, the unexpected ones and the expected ones. So as we engage with that, I think it's an important reminder for those of us that can be more task-driven like me, that sometimes the places that God shows up are not in our agendas and not in the people and places that they think they'd show up, but it's in those unexpected places. It's the times we're out meandering. It's the times we're exploring. It's the times we're creating and discovering something together. When we start a project and we don't know exactly how it's going to end, in my experience, that's where God often moves first and moves the most. So I don't know what your day's like. I don't know what your rhythm's like. I don't know if you're wired like me and you want to have it all structured, or if you like it all loosey-goosey. But however that is, I want to encourage you to look for those places in margin where you can give some space. Those places in margin where you can expect and hope and long to encounter the unexpected and the unexpected people, right? Because that's the place that God often shows up in my life, and I'm willing to bet in yours too. Grace and peace, friends. Have a good week.